Hello, everybody. Welcome to my page. I'm Laura with Chocolate to Chocolate Designs. Please say hi when you jump on. Hit that heart button for me to let me know that you are here. And in just a few seconds, I'm going to give you a keyword to type in. When you type in that keyword, I'll send you a message with the supply list for all of the things that we're using tonight. If it'll load for me. You guys, that's usually how it goes, isn't it? Come on, baby. Come on. All right, you guys. Let's see if it's going to work for me. It's a Saturday night. I hope you guys are doing good. No. Where is it? Tell me that I'm even live. Am I live right now? Okay, good. I am. You guys, sometimes technology just messes with me. All right, the keyword for tonight is prayer. P-R-A-Y-E-R, prayer. Prayer, you guys. We're going to do a fun project that I've actually had in mind for quite a while, but just had to get the right supplies to do it. Hello, Lorraine. Hey, Jan. Hello, Elizabeth and Christine. Hey, Callie and Edwina. Hi, Darlene and Dottie. Hi, Teresa and Melinda and Cheryl and Laura and Lisa Marie. Hello, Brenda. Happy Saturday. Happy Saturday, Belia. Hello, Ruth and Rhea. Hello, Carol. Love the backyard. Thank you. Our backyard is a mess, but at the same time, it's fun. Hi, Rhea. Hello, Jan. Hello, Karen. Hello, Wanda. Welcome in, you guys, as you are joining me. Thank you so much for watching. I am going to go ahead and we're going to get started on this project. We did have a good day, you guys. I've had a very productive last couple of days, actually. But yesterday, I slept a lot. You guys, I got like 12 hours of sleep yesterday. I took a nap and then went to bed early, and it felt good. So I'm feeling well rested right now and ready to go. So glad to be back with you guys. Yeah, so here we go. Let's go ahead and get started. Tonight, we're going to do an ink project. And I think you're absolutely going to love this. Hey, Pam. So we're using tonight our natural placemats. Okay, this does come in a 2-pack. And I think I've already used one of these. I think there's only one left in here. But, hi, Susan. Hi, Jackie. These right here are the perfect size for a C-size transfer. Okay, let's see. Did I already use one? No, I didn't use one yet. Good. We're only going to need one, though. All right, so these are a 12 by 18, which is the same size as our C-size transfers. I'm hoping this all works out for me the way that I'm envisioning it. We will soon find out. Hi, Barbara. Hi, Kathy. Okay, so the first thing that we're going to do here, hey, Tina. How did golfing go? Dottie. Well, since you asked, I am not a good golfer. Not by any means. I go because it's fun, and that's the only reason that I go. And I'm not good at all. So most of the time I was like, oh, I don't know, 4 over par. But we had a good time. I'm learning and just having fun. But it's nice every once in a while to get out with John and just do something together. So that was just, it's nice to do things together as a couple, right? Hey, Nancy. Hey, Cassie. All right, I just turned this thing on. It doesn't have a whole lot of heat yet, but I do want to get this already ironed flat first before we start our project tonight, because it does have some creases in it when you first take it out of that packaging. Hello, Carol Dial and Tammy Lyon. All right. There's like no heat to this thing yet. It's not even ironing that very flat yet. Come on, baby. Get up there above 150 degrees. I should have plugged this in sooner. Okay, but I did do some other props, so we're good. How was you guys' Friday night and Saturday? Did anybody else just like catch up on sleep and relax? Y'all, that's like all I caught up on some sleep. I relaxed. I ran some errands. Went to some Hobby Lobby again. And I placed an order and got some more stuff for Patriotic Bundles. I know you guys are waiting for those to come out. I'm working on them slowly but surely. Hi, Danette. All right, I think we got this flat enough for our project, but I am going to leave this on because we're going to need that to heat set tonight. All right, so you guys, we're going to use one of these placemats today. And I'm also going to grab my ink mat. Oh, it's not very sticky, you guys, because I did a sweatshirt with this last time, but that's okay. All right, so our ink mat is going to go right on here. This is a 17 by 17 ink mat. And we use this because it's sticky You did a craft? Yay! We use this because it's sticky and it helps to hold this down really flat when we put our transfer on, okay? So the transfer we're going to use tonight is, if you guys hadn't guessed it yet, the Lord's Prayer. I just realized I haven't done this one yet, and I definitely want to have this one on my wall or ready for one of you guys to hang on yours. Went to Hobby Lobby and Michael's and spent too much. I went to Hobby Lobby and Michael's too, and surprisingly I didn't spend very much. I only grabbed a couple of things, but one thing I'm super excited about. All right, so this is going to fit on these placemats almost perfectly. And for a placemat, it is considered to be a textile. So you do want to use ink when doing these and then heat set it. Now, you can use paste if you want to use paste. Actually, on a placemat, if you're going to use it to serve things on, like you're going to use it at your kitchen table, and people might put food on it and things like that, then ink is definitely the way to go. If you're going to use this as like a wall hanger and you don't ever plan to have to throw it in the washing machine, then you can absolutely use paste. It's completely up to you which one you want to do, okay? Hi, Wendy. But because it is a textile, you don't need to fuzz it before you put your transfer down, okay? You went to Michael's but didn't have time for Hobby Lobby. Diane, you live so close to me, girl, that you should just call me before you go and we can go together. Okay? Please do that. I would love to meet you. And we go to the same Hobby Lobby and Michael's. I know we do. Hi, Renee. All right, so we're going to put this right on here where this is right in the center of this placemat. Right there, I think is good. I do want to leave a little bit of room at the top and at the bottom, and you can use your stitching to kind of line it up a little bit. Mona's in the house! Hi, Loretta. Hi, Renee. All right, we're going to give this a great big press down on here and make sure we've got no air bubbles. Definitely, girl. So John is going bowling tomorrow, or not bowling, golfing tomorrow morning. They're doing like a team thing where he and one friend are on a team and he's bowling against two of his other friends. Now, I keep saying bowling, golfing against two of his other friends. They don't invite me because I'm really not good. I think John just brings me along because it's funny to watch me. Hi, Mary. All right, we're going to use two different colors tonight. I love both of these colors so much. This one is Shimmer Copper. And then also Black Velvet. These are both ink colors because we are going to heat set this, even though we could use paste for this project. Now, I want you guys to see something. It's been a while since I used my Shimmer Copper. And you can almost look in there and see that it looks like it's separated. And you've got what almost looks like water or a gelatin on top of it. That's completely normal. Okay, so all that you need to do with that when that happens is grab a stir stick. You guys, a plastic stir stick. If you don't have these right here, then grab a plastic knife or a plastic spoon. But please, please, please steer clear of popsicle sticks. Okay, because popsicle sticks will actually, they'll suck the moisture out of your paste because the wood's going to draw up the moisture. So when you use that in there, it actually dries your paste out faster. So try to make sure that you're using something plastic. Okay. Can you work on, yes, you can absolutely do burlap. Hey, Judy. Hi, Rhonda. All right, and mine's a little bit dry, so I am going to add a little bit of distilled water to my ink. That's actually a question I get sometimes is, can you add distilled water to ink or just to paste? Definitely, definitely can re-moisten your ink just like you do your paste, okay? All right, just going to give that a good stir here. And then this is good to go. And my black still looks like it is brand new, even though there's not very much left in there. Because I use a lot of black velvet ink. All right, you guys, here we go. This is going to be simple and easy to do this part of this. So I'm going to grab some squeegees here. I think I probably just need a mini squeegee, and then I'm going to take a mini squeegee that I've cut in half. It's a little bit smaller. Oh, y'all, hey, let me show you what I did get at Hobby Lobby, though, okay? Because I think most of you guys are going to want to get these too now. Now, I have a lot of people who ask me all the time, where do I get, hold on you guys, let me grab them out here. I have people who ask me all the time, yes, you're welcome. I have people who ask me all of the time where I get these right here. These are my squeegee brushes that I got on Amazon. But I was at Hobby Lobby yesterday, and you guys, look what I found. I found them in an even smaller size for even more intricate detail. They're the exact same thing, but they're teeny tiny, and they were in the cake decorating section, but they are definitely a silicone. So these will totally work for really, really detailed parts of a transfer as well. So I love that now I have 2 different sizes of these. So check out the cake bakery section of your different stores and see if you guys can find a smaller set as well. I thought those were just so cute. I had to have them. All right, here we go. Oh, what was that? My weather, it's getting colder. It's been nice, and now it's getting colder again. All right, so we're going to go ahead and grab the shimmer copper, and I'm going to do the top up here where it says the Lord's Prayer with the shimmer copper ink. And one of the great things about ink is that you actually have a little bit more time to work because it doesn't dry quite as fast as your paste does. You love your squeegees on a stick? Do you have the teeny tiny ones, or do you just have the Amazon bigger ones? Never before yesterday did I even think to check the cake bakery section, but I did yesterday. Got some in the resin section with shorter handles though. Now you need to go back to Hobby Lobby. Ah, Daddy! Amazon has the teeny tiny ones too. I didn't see those on Amazon. Do you have those already, Tina? I didn't even look on Amazon for them. I just happened to be in Hobby Lobby, and I was in the cake section, and I happened to turn around, and there it was. There it was. And so I grabbed it. Hi, Donna. You got both sizes from Amazon. So Carol's got the teeny ones too. Hi, Janice. All right, so we did that first part in shimmer copper. Now I'm going to move on, and I'm going to do a whole bunch of this in the black velvet. Pretty much the entire Lord's Prayer. You did. You got the smaller ones too, except all of the little line pieces here, and then this thing in the middle. Because I really want this to stand out on this piece. Amazon has 2 sizes. I didn't even think to check Amazon. You guys, I actually had like 6 orders from Amazon that showed up today. Hi, Dale. It was insane how much stuff came from Amazon today. But that's okay. Sometimes that happens. All right, here we go. Just getting into all of that. I'm trying not to get that shimmer copper that's up there into my black velvet, if I can help it. Because remember, this is ink, so once it goes in there, it's really hard to get it back off. The word for tonight, I'm sorry, it's prayer. Prayer, P-R-A-Y-E-R, prayer is the key word. We are doing the Lord's Prayer tonight. And I'm going to show you a really cool way that you can use our placemats. Hi, Tracy. All right, so that's done in black. Clay sculpting tools, Tina says, is what to look for on Amazon when you're looking for those teeny tiny squeegees. Which are so great for detail stuff. They really, really are. All right, let's get back over here and do this part right here in the copper. This part in the copper. Prayer is the key word. And then we got a lot more that we can do in the black velvet. Hallowed be thy name. You guys, these are reusable silkscreen transfers if you're new to my page. which means that once you've done a project with it, you can wash it and reuse these over and over and over again. And they're adhesive on the back to keep your paste from going through, or your ink. All right, there we go. We'll be done. And we're just squeegeeing that right over top and then squeegeeing off all of that excess. Okay. All right, let's go ahead and move on to this part here. We're going to do all of this, the hands and everything, in the copper. I'm only using 2 colors tonight just to make this fast and easy. Chalk don't have that transfer. Yeah, they do, Tracy. They sure do. And if you type in the word prayer right now, then you're going to get the link that's got this transfer. This is definitely available on the website. Sure is. I do not use transfers from anywhere else, you guys. I won't show transfers from anywhere else. I have a couple from Temu, and as soon as I got them, I looked at the quality and I was like, probably not. And I have not even tried them. But they just were not, they weren't what I'm used to. Let's just say that. All right. On earth, as it is in heaven. We're getting there. Just trying to be careful around these words to make sure everything goes just where I want it to go. All right, I'm about halfway through, and I know that because I'm down here at these lines now. So I do think that I'm going to do a pull on this just to be sure, even though it's ink. And ink does give you extra time to work with. We're still going to go ahead and pull this up now, okay? You used to get some from Really? Okay. All right, let's pull this up. We're going to pull it up slowly so that if there's any part of this that we feel like that, see, I've got a couple spots there that are not as well done as I had hoped. So we're just going to go lay it back down and go over it again. Cassie says, I got a farmhouse one from Amazon, and it definitely isn't the same quality. So now I could definitely lay this back down. I could go over a few spots that kind of look like they're missed. But I think I'm not going to, because I do plan to make this project look like it is more like old. I'm going to age it up a little bit. So I kind of like that it's got a couple of spots where it's not like really, really thick. Now that Y right there, I didn't get the bottom of that one very well. It looks like a V. Yes, it looks more rustic that way, for sure. But there are certain parts that I do want to make sure that I get, like that as right there and the H. So all you got to do is just lay it back down and you just redo those parts that didn't go through as well. And I'm just going to lay this, I'm just going to leave that laid right like that, not pressing that back down, okay? All right, we're going to keep going. Ooh. See, this is where I actually want those little bitty mini squeegees. Right here on these lines, I think it's going to make it a little easier for me. Oh yeah, these are awesome. These are the ones I just got at Hobby Lobby. And for small parts like this, it just makes it a little easier. Just keeps it more in a centralized location. And it's more like painting it on. Love it. Oh, I feel like I could do a lot more detail stuff with these ones. That worked out so well. All right now. I'm always excited about new things. Okay. We're more than halfway done. The rest of this should go pretty fast. If I can just get it on there. You guys hear my kids out there? They're watching a movie with their dad tonight. Where is Hobby Lobby? Oh, where in Hobby Lobby? They are near the, if they're in the cake decorating section. That's where I found the little ones. I was in there looking at some of their fondant molds. To go with that folk art stuff that I showed you, not folk art, that pent art stuff that I showed you guys on Thursday night. And I found the one I was looking for while I was at Hobby Lobby. And so I was really excited that I got that, and I put the stuff in there. You only hear me in my dryer? I put that pent art stuff in there, and I'm waiting for it to dry right now so I can pull it up and see how it turns out. But it's going to be tomorrow before I can pull it out. And then I'll show you guys. Oh, maybe I have to show you guys now because I just told you about it. And if I don't, then you're going to go to Hobby Lobby tomorrow. And then you're going to come back here tomorrow night and see this other thing that I want to show you. And then you're going to want to go back again. Oh, I'll show you. But when we finish the project, if I remember. Because that's how I do it. All right, you guys. We're getting so close here. I got a couple of lines there. Let's just finish up all of the black, and then we can go back and do all of these little line pieces. Deliver us into temptation. Or lead us not into temptation, you guys. But deliver. You guys all know this prayer. Us from you were looking for the pent art stuff in Hobby Lobby. It was not there. I had to order the pent art stuff from the pent art website. And I ordered that quite a while ago. I just hadn't played with it yet until recently. Oh, we're so close, you guys. For thine is the power and the glory. For thine is the kingdom and the power and the glory forever. Amen. Okay. I'm reading both lines as I'm pasting them. Did the Lord's Prayer. You did the Lord's Prayer on black canvas and then took it to... Ooh, I bet you that was beautiful. All right, we are so close. So close. You guys, if you do this in a bunch of different colors, it's going to take a little bit longer. But it would absolutely be beautiful in a bunch of color too. Okay. I think I'm done with all the black, but now I've got some on my fingers. Always check your fingers to make sure your fingers stay clean, okay? Because if your fingers get ink on them, hey Carol, and you don't wipe it off and then you put your hands on your surface, it's going to stay. Ink is permanent. Ooh. Oh yeah, this thing makes it so much easier. Oh, I got a little bit of black in that one though. Oh well. Don't sweat the small stuff. We're so close, you guys. Are you guys about ready to see how this turns out? Me too. Just a few more lines. Oh, that's right. You're right. Hobby Lobby is closed on Sunday for everybody. So you guys can't go there tomorrow anyway. Even if you want to. Yep, this is Shimmer Copper. Shimmer Copper is gorgeous. All right, just these last couple of lines here, and then we're ready to pull this up. So close. Okay. We have it ready, you guys. Yeah, Carol, you smarty pants. Carol's like, you can go to the store, you just can't go inside. You're right about that, Carol. You are so right about that. Okay, you guys, ready? Are we ready? Let's see how this turned out. I went on and drew my squeegees in there, so let's hope I don't have to fix any spots. I'm loving it so far. Oh, this is beautiful. I'm just wiggling it back and forth to get it to come up. And just relieve it from that placemat. Oh my gosh, I love it. Y'all, what do you think so far? Like, that's gorgeous, isn't it? So beautiful. Love how that turned out. So love it. Hold on a second, though. I didn't grab a towel before I came on. I always forget my towel for my bigger transfers. Thank you. All right, so I'm just going to lay this down on a towel and then give that a good spray with some water so I can go to my bathtub in a little bit and clean this up. I'll wash this one in my bathtub. Just because it's a C size and so it's a little bit bigger for me to try to fit into my kitchen sink. All right, let's get this thing nice and dry. Thank you, Kathy. Thank you, Lisa Marie. But wait till you see what we're going to do with it. That's the thing. We're not just going to leave this as a placemat because, I mean, honestly, you guys, placemats go this way. And if you're sitting at your dinner table with this on your placemat, well, then it's going to be sideways. So you definitely, it's like a burlap material. It's like a burlap placemat. And these are available on my site. They come in a 2-pack, so you could totally make 2 of these with that 2-pack. But what we're going to make tonight with it is not going to be a placemat. Even though we're using a placemat, we're turning this into something different. We want it nice and dry first. Hi, Catherine. How are you doing? And this dryer gets really, really hot. You did one in remembrance of your mother-in-law. I love that. All right, we're definitely getting it dry. You're going to make it for a friend. Yay, Darlene. Well, wait till you see what I do with it, though. You like the color blue? Blue would look beautiful. You could use, you guys, I really, really in my head had a hard time trying to figure out what color to do with this in tonight. Because I was also thinking about Regal. And I thought that like purple, like the Regal color would look amazing on here as well. But so many different colors would look so good with this. And you can make a bunch of them in a bunch of different colors. All right, so now that that's good and dry, we're going to pull this off the ink mat. And then we want to heat set it. Now, darn it, I bet this thing turned off too. Well, we're not completely cooled off, which is good. I have ink on my fingers. You love the black. It's actually, Joe, this is not nominee. This one is Shimmer Copper. One could always sew a piece of fabric at the top using casting and hanging on a dowel. Tracy, you're getting ahead of me, girl. All right. So to heat set this, since this is ink, all you got to do is lay it on a towel or a heat mat or something like that. Hi, Crystal. And then we're going to place a piece of parchment paper over top of it. And I'm going to use my Cricut heat press because I got one and it makes it a little bit faster. I have it set for 350 degrees for 30 seconds. And we're just going to put it down on there and press start. Okay, let that go for 30 seconds on this side. If you don't have a heat press, you can use an everyday iron. You know, the ones that you use for your clothing. You're just going to do that for medium to high heat. No steam, because the steam will actually water down your ink and cause it to spread. And you're going to do it for about 2 to 3 minutes on each side. So you want to heat set the top part of it. Okay, and we were only able to get the top part of the top, so we're going to move this down and do the bottom part of it now. Make sure you get the whole thing done. Now, if you've got an ironing board, this is the placemat, yep. And they come in a 2-pack. So you guys type prayer in the comments and you'll get the whole supply list for tonight and everything we're using. And I think that this is going to be absolutely gorgeous when we're all said and done with it. All right, so 30 seconds on each side, which means that when this 30 seconds is over, now what we need to do, we've heat set the top part of our ink. Now we're going to flip this over and we're going to heat set it from the bottom to the top. There's a lot of steam going on, you guys. So we're going to put this back down right there on the back side, and we're going to do it again. And this is really going to secure it and just make sure that that ink is good and set in there. And then it's permanent. Absolutely permanent. Okay. 14 more seconds. You got a heat press and you love it. Me too, girl. This was a gift from John for Christmas. And the first one that I had, it broke in like the first, I don't even know, the first month. It was broken. And I had to call them. And it took them about 3 weeks to get me a replacement one sent. But I did finally get a replacement from them. They took good care of me. So I was glad for that. And now I've had the thing for like 2 years. And this has been fantastic. Just love it. I just moved it down to the other side on the back. This is going to be really hot when you lift it up. Fortunately, burlap cools down pretty quickly. And now I can turn that off. All right. You guys ready for this? You bought one on Facebook Marketplace and you haven't tried it yet. Girl, try it. You'll love it. Try it. You will love it. Okay, so now this design is on here and it is permanent. So we're going to move on. And I've got a couple of things that we're going to do with this, okay? So let's go ahead and start here. Ooh, I'm thinking about it for a second. Okay. I thought about it for a second. Here's what I'm going to do. Because I like the tattered older look, especially for something that's a classic like this. So I'm actually going to cut my mat right here on the inside of this seam. And you guys, I'm going to rip this seam off. You have a 9x9, you want a bigger one? All right, so now we have this really gorgeous, like torn and tattered side on each side, or on that side. We're going to do the same thing with the other side. Don't be scared, you guys. We're crafting. Amazon has great prices on them. Tina says it's worth every penny. I agree. I love mine. I saw that too, Denise. It's not the one that I grew up with either. And I actually asked Carol about that. I was like, it's not even the version that, and she says they're both the same. Like, they're both. It's like, this is not what mine said. Okay, I love that look. Where it's just a little bit tattered on the edges. To me, it looks like it is just a little more aged and more appropriate for this. You love the torn look too? All right, now before we go ahead and move any farther, I'm going to take, it is the one that you grew up with, Ruth. See, it's different for everybody. Because this one says, give us this day our daily bread and forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors. And to me, when I grew up, it was give us this day our daily bread and forgive us our trespasses as we forgive those who trespass against us. I'm guessing that they went with this version just because it fit better on the design. But maybe different areas just had a different version. I don't know. Oh, that works. That works, Catherine. All right, so you guys, I'm going to take some of my decorative finishing wax by Bear. This I got at the Home Depot. And we're going to use some of this just to... I'm getting there, Shanna. Hold on a minute. You're getting ahead of me. We're going to use this just to kind of give this a little bit more of a dirty and rugged look, like it's been around for a little bit. Not like it was brand new. Okay, so Carol says that the version about temptation comes from the King James Bible, and the other is this one right here comes from the Living Bible. So it depends on what Bible you have. Okay, you guys, I'm going to go ahead and use this right here. I love this brushes right here from Hobby Lobby or from Walmart so much. I use them for everything. So I'm just going to go ahead and put a little bit of this on my brush and then dab it off. I don't want too much of this, just a bit. And I'm just going to use this along the edges. Might even still have too much on there. And probably in some spots in the middle too, just to give this, just to dirty it up a little bit. right there on those torn edges, maybe along the top a little bit. Just making it look a little bit aged and older. Like it's been handled and around the block a little bit more. No rhyme or reason to where I'm putting this at all. But I like that. I think that that looks fantastic. Thank you, Kim. Okay, you guys, everybody keeps telling me the dowel rods. We're getting there. We're getting there. We're getting there. Let me set this aside so that that kind of dries a little bit. And we'll move on to our dowel rods. So I do have a couple dowel rods. I picked one long one up at Michael's. You can also get dowel rods at Hobby Lobby. I did heat set already. I sure did. You love hearing, you can hear Evan in the background. Did you see the video of him today? Oh my gosh, he's so funny. So this is a thicker dowel rod, and I did get this at Michael's. I think it was $1.99, and then I had John cut it, and I thought that I measured it so that they were both the same, but they're not. Close enough for me, though. So we're going to use some of our Voodoo Tobacco Road gel stain for this. So I'm going to use the dowel rods. See, it's the wax is, it's by Behr. And it's called Decorative Finishing Wax. Now, they've changed the look of the container since I bought mine, but it's the same thing. It's just Decorative Finishing Wax by Behr, and it's in the paint section at the Home Depot. All right, so we're going to put a little bit of this on there. And then, you guys, I'm going to use the towel. I'm going to use a little rag. I was going to use a baby wipe. I decided to use a rag instead. All right. So we're just going to get these stained up with some of our stain, our wood stain. This is Gel Stain by Dixie Belle. This is available on my site. The label's black now. Thank you, Tracy. I knew it was different. And that just makes it look a little darker, a little bit more aged. And if the darker that you want it, the more times you're going to want to put this on here, okay? Get my edges too a little bit, just to be sure. Even though I've got a plan for my edges. My nose always itches when I'm live too. Every time. My whole face does. All right. And it's definitely on my fingers. It's okay. It's not going to stain your hands like the other stains would. Doesn't that look so great, you guys? This is the Tobacco Road one. Ooh. So we're just going to stain up both of these dowel rods. And once I get to the end of this where I'm holding it, I'm going to go ahead and dry the part that is down here, just so I can hold on to this part without getting it all over my hands. So yeah, this one right here is the dark wax. Decorative wax. And it's the dark antique wax. That's the one. All right, and then we can just flip it over, hold on to the first side that we did, and we can finish it off. We're going to do this to both of these, and then I've also got some little rod caps that we're going to put on the end as well. And those also will need to be stained. So I do want to try to make these both the same color if I can. Equal amounts on both of them. Is this permanent wax? Yes. The decorative finishing wax is a permanent wax. And this is a permanent, well, yes, this is a permanent stain. If you mean the stain stuff too. But it doesn't stink like the stuff that you get at Home Depot. There's no odor at all to the Dixie Belle gel stains. You guys were so close. Thank you, Karen, for the stars. I'm really having to rub this in. It's definitely bringing out the grain in that wood. Thank you, Kathy. All right, that looks fantastic. Okay, so I'm also going to do the same thing with these right here. These are from Hobby Lobby as well. These are called Acorn Dowel Caps. They come in a 4-piece. And you guys, these are actually too small for this particular dowel rod, but they can be glued onto the end and they will fit just fine. So keep that in mind, okay? So we're actually going to stain up all 4 of these tonight with the same Tobacco Road color. The wax is on clearance at Home Depot. Tracy! So they're going to do away with my favorite wax. I might have to go buy another jar, even though that one right there is only like 1/3 of the way gone and I've had it for 2 years. But if they're putting it on clearance, then I need to get another jar. A little bit goes a long, long, long ways with that wax. All right, I'm going to have this all over my hands and everywhere. But that's okay. Because now it matches. I'm making a mess. That's a good price for it. I think it was normally like $16. So $10 is definitely a good price for it. I might have to go up there too. So you guys, I did a thing yesterday. Oh, I didn't tell you guys about this thing that I did. I got my kids a cell phone. You guys, I got my kids a cell phone yesterday. Maybe making a size change in the packaging. Work retail. So, oh, that could be. That could be. So you guys, Allie is 10. Evan is 7. And I know, right, Ruth? Ah! Y'all, don't judge me for this. Don't judge me for this, but I'm going to tell you a little secret. I'm going to tell you a little secret, okay? We have started test letting our kids stay home alone for short periods of time, okay? Now, I'll tell you guys, I grew up in the 80s and 90s. And by the time that I was Evan's age, I was home alone all evening because my mom was working 2 jobs. Okay. And I survived, and I think that I'm better for it. But I don't feel comfortable running to the store without a way to communicate with my kids if they're here by themselves for 20 minutes, whatever it might be. And so I got a phone. They hate it. It's a flip phone, and it will only do calls and messages. That's it. And in order for them to send a text message, they have to click the A or the number 1 3 times to get the letter C. It's one of those like older style, no apps, no games, no nothing kind of phones. Oh, Carol, I'm so sorry to hear that. But it's like we needed a landline. We needed a landline because if I try to message them on their tablets, and I know that they're playing games on them, they're not going to stop their game to check my message. So I got them a phone. And they want nothing to do with it. You guys. It's got texting. It's just not easy for them to text. It's just not easy for them to. So I can text them on there. You prefer the old flip phone to your Android? I felt it was time. And even when they're in the backyard, y'all, we have got 8 acres of land. And my daughter likes to go out in the woods. And she just sits there in the back of the woods drawing pictures and doing things outside, just being out with nature. And then I have to walk all the way back into the back of our property to get her to let her know that it's dinner time. Now I can just be like, take the phone. Felt the same way when your kids got one when they were in 6th grade and I was getting rid of your landline. Yeah, see? Like, y'all, they need to be tested early. They need to be tested. Okay, you guys, we've got these all done. Maybe I'll give them a little bit of a dry. Are y'all ready for this? You guys, if you haven't done so yet, type the word prayer into the comments. And we're going to start putting this thing together now. We're ready to assemble. Are you guys ready for this? I'm ready for this. All right. So one thing that I did get to decorate this up a little bit, and I didn't even turn my hot glue gun on because I don't think we're going to use that tonight. I think we're going to use Stick Fast. I have 2 kits. I have 2. Stick Fast. And this is like, it's more of an instant wood glue. It's like a... It's like a super glue, but works for wood. Okay. And the cap glues on there sometimes. All right. So I'm going to grab these right here. These are actually bookmark tassels that I got on Amazon. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to glue this tassel right down here and then cut off the excess. And I'm just going to use a little bit of wood glue on here. Or I'm sorry, Stick Fast glue. You love Stick Fast? Y'all, and here's my problem with Stick Fast. Like, I need a new one, I think. It's called Stick Fast. It's called Stick Fast, but mine tends to get gummed up because I've had it for so long, and it gets all in the cap and everything, and it's been drying out on me. And it's right there where it's in the bottle and it's all stuck. All right, let's try this again. I don't want to squeeze it so hard that it ends up in my eyes. Y'all! This is from Amazon. And I'm hoping I can use it. I need something in here to stab it with. Darn it. It does. It makes the cap get stuck. Let me try to cut the top of it off of here. Sometimes that helps. Let's see. Yep, it was right there at the top. All right, I'm just going to put this at the end of the dowel rod. We're going to put this piece on here. And then put this piece right over top. And just glue that right on there. You use toothpicks. Oh, come on, baby. Stay on where I want you to stay on. I got to hold that for a second until it kind of cures up. Hopefully it'll stay. Ha! Look at that, you guys. We'll just do it that way then. Okay, I want to see where it's hanging down from so I can do the same thing on the other side. That's the down. So, some stick fast. The bookmarker. And the cap. And I'm just going to pinch those together. Hopefully that'll help it to set up. Oh, come on, baby. Put a push pin in the end. I could probably do that now that I've cut that end off a couple of times. I think I used too much. It fell off. Oh no! I probably didn't see the message. I'm sorry, you guys. I don't see them all. Let's see if I can just set that down and let that start to glue together. All right, you guys, we got that one on. This one we're not going to have tassels on, so this should be a little bit easier. And just putting those little acorn pieces at the edge just to give it a little bit more of a, like a decorative edging on the end. Just pinch that together while it dries for a couple of minutes. Okay, you guys ready for this? Hopefully that's dry now. My drink is empty. Let's finish this up. No! You guys, if it doesn't dry, I'm going to have to use hot glue, I think. Because it's not drying on there. Okay. I think that the tassel things are just stopping it from drying the way I want it to. Both sides. It's just not. Let's put a dab of hot glue on there just to get it. Hi, Sharon. Just to get that to sit a little better. Oh, I know why, because the end of this thing is hollow. That's why. It's because the end of the little acorn thing is hollow. And so with it being hollow, there's not a whole lot of surface area for that to stick. There we go, you guys. Cute as can be, right? We'll see if that one will stick together, though. All right, let's go ahead and grab our banner now. And we're just going to wrap the top of it around that, just like that. It's not going to wrap all the way because of the size of it. But make sure our tassels are going down. And we're going to glue that on there just like that, okay? So I'm just going to grab my hot glue. Go straight across and make sure that I'm pretty equal here. Oh, that looks good to me. Shucks daisies. These are black tassels, and they're bookmark tassels that I got on Amazon. All right, I got that first layer on there. Now we can come back and we can just make sure that the top of that is definitely glued down. I think this is going to be so cute, y'all. You could use any color tassels that you decide that you like, though. All right, let's see if these ones are going to stay on or if they're not. It looks like those ones stayed on just fine. It was probably the tassel that made it so that the other ones wouldn't. So now all we got to do is kind of line this up. And I think that this one's the one that's a little bit longer, the one that's going on the bottom. And then we can glue this right to that dowel rod. Thank you, Lena. You guys, I think that this turned out super, super cute. You guys tell me what you think. I think it turned out super cute. I almost think that this bottom dowel could have been a little bit shorter, but y'all, I think both dowels could have been a little bit shorter. I cut it an inch extra on each side, so I did 14 inches for the dowel, but I honestly think 13 would have been fine to only do a half an inch on extra on each side. But I think that turned out so cute, right? You guys? You love it? Now you got to make one? Yay! I'm glad that you guys love it. Oh, you know what else we could do with this too? Hold on a second, y'all. Here's what else we could do with this that I didn't think of until just now. We need a way to hang it, right? And right now I have no way to hang this thing. So why don't we just glue a hanger? Thank you. So let's just do some jute rope, because jute is going to look just fine with this. Or you could do black if you want to do black. I could absolutely drill a hole into the dowel rods and hang it with holes in the dowel rods. Or I could just glue the jute on here, or I can make an actual hanger with it. Let's do a hanger. Let's do a hanger. Let's make a cute little hanger real quick. I have way more than what I need. Thank you, Mary Beth. So let's just go ahead and tie Hold on. I want to get my tassel around this. Right next to that, I'm just going to tie some jute. And let's give this a double knot. Cut off the extra. Oh shoot! I cut off the wrong one. No, I cut off both of them. What was I thinking? You guys, that was not smart. That was not smart at all. Here we go. Let's make sure our knot's at the top. I don't know what I was thinking cutting both ends of that. I obviously wasn't thinking at all. All right, we're going to figure out how long we want this. That's probably good right there. You really don't want it to be... Yeah, this was one of the placemats. This was a placemat from my website. If you type in the word prayer, you'll get the whole supply list from tonight. And the placemats come in a 2-pack. All right, once I get this piece right here on here, I am going to put a little bit... Whoops, but it was funny. I am going to put a little bit of glue underneath the knot of this just to make sure that it doesn't slip and slide around. And let's move that knot to the top right there. That's where it hangs. That's where I want my knot. Just so that it stays where I want it to stay. There we go. All right, now we have a hanger for it. You guys loving that now? Now that's better. Look at that. Now we've got a hanger for it. All right, you guys. The name of the transfer is the Lord's Prayer. Type in the word prayer, though. You'll get the whole supply list, and you'll be able to just click on that supply list, and it'll take you right to my site where you can add the things into your cart for all the things that you want to use from this project, okay? All right, you guys, I hope that you love that. I hope that this gives you an idea for something else you can use those placemats for. Rather than just using them as a placemat, you can totally make a hanger out of them, the cutest little decor for your church, right? Or for your home. I love it. I hope you guys love it too. All right, Facebook, take my picture with my project. All right, you guys, thanks so much for watching. I will be back again tomorrow with another project. You are all awesome. And I love you so much and appreciate you guys being here. That's it for tonight. I'll see you guys back here again tomorrow. Bye, everybody.